All right, our next presenter, which is Bob Nyboer. Topic is Carnegie Library. He was born in New York, has lived in many different parts of the country. His childhood was largely spent in central Illinois. He used Decatur's Old Carnegie as a child and learned about the world through books at Decatur Public Library. After high school, he worked many different jobs. He moved to Minnesota, where he earned his BA, and then to Madison, Wisconsin for his MLS. He has worked in public libraries since 1987, so let's give him a warm PK welcome.
My name is Bob Nyboer. I just flew in from Las Vegas, and are my arms tired? I went to the doctor the other day and told him I was going to be doing this. He said, "Man, you're crazy." I said, "I want a second opinion." He said, "You're ugly too." Anyway. All right, I warmed you up a little bit. I want to talk about the history of Longmont Public Library, not just the Carnegie. When the Chicago colony was founded in 1871, Elizabeth Thompson helped found the Library Hall here. It was built in 1871, still exists over here on Pratt Street near Thompson Park, named after Elizabeth. There were 300 books in the library when it opened. A year later, because they had no librarian, there were none. So they later moved on after Library Hall became a school and lecture hall. The Women's Christian Temperance Union opened up a reading room in the Mumford block where the bank sits now on the corner of 4th and Main. And the librarian you see there is Rebecca Day, and she was at the beginning, at the opening of the Carnegie. And in 1907, the city took over the library and made it a municipal library. But the one thing they really, really wanted was a Carnegie building. And that came about in 1912. And you see them digging the foundation for it. Here it is in the summer of 1912 being built. And this library was a result of a lot of efforts from wealthy patrons in the city. The initial first tax option for it failed, $225 to $75. But they kept pushing it because they felt it was an integral part of the culture of the city. Here's the building in the winter just before it opened in January 1913. But anyway, the library did open in January 1913. And this photograph here is interesting. This is Ziggy's now. Here's the old City Hall, and here's the Carnegie. So it opened to much fanfare and was in use till about 1972. And of course, Andrew Carnegie, being a Scottish immigrant from poverty, was a self-made man. When he retired in 1902, he was the wealthiest man in the United States and helped bring about thousands of different Carnegie buildings in the United States and through the world. Over the years, we had several different library directors: Rebecca Day, Genevieve Dorset, Robert Howes here, who was with us for 1 year, couldn't live on the amount of money that the city was paying him at the time. Here we see the library in the 1960s. Notice the old card catalog, which is long, long gone. Old technology. And the lady in the picture there was my predecessor, Kirsten Adams, whose husband, Robert Adams, is a well-known photographer. Maybe some of you know him. This is 1960s at the Cirque desk. And, you know, even though the looks and styles have changed, the interest in reading hasn't changed a bit. Finally, the library, the Carnegie, outgrew itself, you know, quadrupled in the number of books they built or carried. So in 1972, they built the Plan 75 building on top of or where our current library resides today. Here's a ribbon cutting ceremony for the Plan 75 library, and a picture of the Plan 75 library that if you look at it, the architecture is very similar to the Civic Center building right next to it. And there you have a patron sitting out front enjoying her book. Now, that building, again, was supposed to be expanded. The money never came through and soon outgrew its space. That's the nature of libraries. The collections grow and build and grow. So they had to move out, try to find a new place or a different way to store the books. Before I forget, this little fella is hanging an ornament on Light a Candle tree that we still have today. Help support the library. So in 1993, this new facility opened up, and you can still see the old Carnegie in back of it. There was a lot of controversy about this building when it opened. In that, a lot of people didn't know they were going to tear down the old 75 library. And one day they woke up and there it was. Now, before you clap, I only included 17 pictures so that I could give a pitch to you before I leave. So, I wrote a comprehensive history on Longmont Public Library. It is available for $10, and the money goes to the Friends of Longmont Public Library, and the Friends, of course, help us to support our library. Now, the lady that was here just before me, a librarian, I thought it was really cool seeing her up here. She's the new face of librarianship. Mine is the old worn out face. But you know, the thing that's really, really cool is that the love of helping people is what libraries are all about. It hasn't changed. I keep hearing that the library is going the way of the dinosaur. It will never go away. We've got a lovely facility over here. The city has supported it for years. I see Gordon hiding back there. He was very instrumental in providing us funding and support to keep that library going. So, helping is what we're all about. And before I close, I do want to talk about, we're not just books, bricks, and mortar. We also have some really cool products for you. And here comes the pitch. So we just started a new product called Zinio. And it is a subscription database with your library card that you can download over 75 e-magazines to your portable device or to your home computer. So if you're looking for Consumer Reports, want the full issue, you can download Zinio. They'll give you a notice every time the new issue arrives. You can look at it at the comfort of your home, in a coffee shop, wherever you're at. Of course, we have Consumer Reports in the library. It's free to you. All you need is a library card. Also, one last thing, our 24/7 page, a lot of free databases in there, including Universal Class. Universal Class will allow you to take over 500 courses online, all of them non-credited, but lifelong learning courses, learning how to use a camera, learning about Christianity or Hinduism, learning business machines, Microsoft equipment, and so forth. It's free to you on your computer. Thank you. Woo-hoo.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Greg Rodriguez. I'm not running for office, and I did not approve that message. No, thank you. That was great. It's always nice to know. There's so much going on here in Longmont that when you start to see these PK presentations, you suddenly realize the wealth of information, culture, knowledge that lies within the boundaries of this city. And you know, you always hear the thing that what makes a city special is culture and the arts. Longmont has made a concerted effort to be on the cutting edge of that. So I think, you know, to all our city managers, city people who are working to make Longmont a better place, job well done. And I am open to public office if there's anything open. Nothing that will require more than 4 or 5 hours. And I hate to get interrupted when I'm not doing anything. So, thank you.